State police arrested a Saco man in connection with the fatal shooting of a man in Biddeford. 25-year-old Lorenz Labonte was taken into custody Monday night by the Maine State Police Tactical and Crisis Negotiation Team at his home. Labonte is charged with murder. Its officials say he killed 27-year-old Ahmed Sharif of Lewiston. Biddeford police responded to a 911 call of a person being shot at an apartment on State Street last Friday. State police are calling it an isolated incident.